Screen actors. This video is all about the 3 essential qualities that all great actors have that makes them compelling. It's the reason that we can't take our eyes off of them. In this video, you're going to find out exactly what those qualities are, and you're going to discover that the great actors are not born with them. You and I have these qualities in us too. For some of us, well, they may be a bit hidden, and it's just a question of looking for them, finding them, and then developing them so they serve us in every performance. I'm Louis DeBianco, and this is my channel, Screen Acting Success. This is where you come every Friday for more tips, techniques, and secrets to help you become a more compelling, working screen actor in demand. If this is your first time here, hey, definitely click subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Stick around to the end because I'm going to give away some free training that you're not going to want to miss. Also, toward the end of the video, I'm going to share with you a true story, a fun story about the day that I met one of these great actors, and I had the opportunity to sit down with him and actually discuss these 3 essential qualities. Let's get right into it. The first essential quality of all great actors is danger. And it's not what you may be thinking. It doesn't mean that we see this actor or actress and they're threatening or ominous. No, what it means is that we're not sure what they're going to do next. They're unpredictable. It's an energy that they have. And because they're unpredictable, well, we're hooked. We're sitting on the edge of our seat waiting to see what they're going to say and do next. Some examples. John Malkovich. When I saw him in Burn This, I was struck immediately by that quality of danger. When he was standing on stage, sometimes even in a moment of silence, you weren't sure if he was going to burst into violence, break down in sadness, say something funny, or become tender and gentle, all of which he does in this particular play. The other one was Harvey Keitel. Man, and I also had the great opportunity. It was wonderful to be able to work with him in a movie and do a scene one-on-one with him, which, by the way, you can see in my demo reel. But when I saw Harvey also on stage in a play called Hurly Burly by David Rabe, his sense of danger was intense. It started the moment his character entered. He just stood there and he very slowly looked around the room, and I felt my skin start to, I felt like a tightness in my stomach, because I almost felt like, wow, at any minute, this guy is going to do something that is going to shock us. And sure enough, during the play, he does some pretty shocking things. But it was just a quality that he carried with him. Hey, I got to share this other story with you because it was at that performance or after the performance that this actually happened. I was on the street and I looked down the alleyway where the actors are going to come out of their dressing rooms, and I see Harvey walking straight toward me. I was so excited because I was going to get to tell him how much I enjoyed his performance. And I was just looking at him with this feeling and thought in my mind. And he walked straight up to me and he said, "Don't be so serious." And we both laughed because I did have a really serious look on my face. And then I told him how much I enjoyed his performance, and he said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." That was the first time that I met Harvey Keitel. Women who have it, many, many female actresses, all great female actresses have it. But let's talk about Charlize Theron. And in the film Monster, her sense of danger was a threatening sense of danger. But she also has it when she's not playing a violent character, when she's just playing a woman who is in possession of herself, who knows who she is. She has that unpredictability. Nicole Kidman. And the list goes on. I'm sure that you can think of many whose work is riveting because it is unpredictable. How can you be unpredictable so that you have that quality of danger? It's very simple. Practice being present, always in the here and now, never anticipating what's coming next, not what you're going to do next or what you're going to say next. Look at animals. Cats are great at being totally present. They're always in the moment. And if you see any films with wild animals like wild cats, you will notice that when they're about to do something, they first become totally still. If let's say a leopard is about to pounce, before it pounces, it's totally still. It's listening with its entire body. And then, without giving us any warning, it springs. That is a sense of danger. It's just for us about learning how to be in the here and now. The second quality is humor. And once again, this may not be what you're thinking. Because when I say humor, most of us think, well, we got to be funny, like ha-ha, funny. We have to be able to tell jokes. That's not bad, but that's not what I'm talking about by having an innate sense of humor. Humor is a point of view. It's not, okay, it can be, the ability to be funny deliberately is a skill that we can develop. But to have humor and have it come across, it's a point of view, it's a mindset, how you see the world. A simpler way of saying it is actors and people who don't take themselves that seriously because they know that a lot of what happens in life is actually quite comic, even though we may think it's serious. Those people exude humor on screen. Arnold Schwarzenegger comes to mind. One of the reasons that he is so much fun to watch, even when he's playing the Terminator, who is a violent character, because if you go back and look at those films where he's playing these larger-than-life action heroes, there's a sense of him having so much fun because he's kind of laughing at himself. It's tongue-in-cheek, and it comes across in so many of the scenes that he does, which makes him relaxed, lighthearted, and yes, compelling to watch. Another actor who has a wonderful sense of humor about himself and brings that to every performance he does is Adam Sandler. And now you might be saying, yeah, but Adam Sandler is a comedian. Yes, but if you watch his comedies, one of the reasons that they're so funny is because he's playing everything for real. He's connected to his characters as real human beings. He doesn't play for laughs. And that's because he just sees the humor in every life situation. Of course, I hope that you've seen the movie Uncut Gems, which he should have been nominated for, and he should have won an Academy Award. It is an intense movie, and it is not a comedy. He plays a tragic, pathetic character. And even when he plays that character, his humor comes through from scene to scene to scene. If you haven't seen it, watch it. You will learn a lot. Women. Meryl Streep. Well, some may say, well, she started as a comedian. She plays a lot of comedy, but she brings that sense of, hey, life is funny to everything she does. even her most dramatic roles. Another actress who stands out for me is Jennifer Aniston. And yes, her career was built on comedy, the situation comedy Friends, which made her a very big star. But once again, like Sandler, she is an actress who finds the humanity in all of her characters, and she knows innately that human beings are funny. We're all funny. The most serious of us are. In fact, the ones who take themselves really seriously are the funniest, because they don't even get the joke. And if you're watching right now the morning show, Jennifer Aniston is brilliant in it, because she's playing a character who is tremendously conflicted with major emotional issues. She's full emotionally. At the same time, she brings the humor to it. She just brings it unconsciously, because that's how she sees the world. And I'm sure that's part of how she sees herself. So humor. And the last one, number 3, is sexuality. And whoa, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking right now, well, some people are just sexy and others aren't. Once again, I'm not talking about the quality that means that if you're a guy, you are a hunk, and if you're a woman, that you're a babe. In other words, you don't have to physically live up to somebody's made-up image of what attractive is. Sexuality. Every human being has sexuality. Some of us bury it, others allow it to be there. What do I mean by allow it to be there? Well, it starts with being at home in your own body, feeling comfortable about who you are. And here's the secret, ultimately, to sexuality. It's one word: confidence. I think it's true when they say that confidence is an aphrodisiac. If a person is rock solid confident, they suddenly become physically attractive, even if they don't have traits that society says are physically attractive traits. So, again, if you don't feel sexy, well, then you're going to have to do a little bit of digging, because there's that sexiness in you that you've got to make friends with. Let's look at actors and actresses who have this. Let's start with women. With women who are not considered traditionally beautiful or pretty, but who have a real sense of sexuality in their person and in their work. Kate Winslet. Do you know that Kate Winslet was actually told in a drama class when she was young, well, you can be okay if you are happy with always having to play the fat girls. Basically, she was told, you're too large to become a star. You know what her response was? Whenever you're shamed like that, whenever you're criticized like that, know that it's not about you, it's about the person making the critical statement. Don't take it inside, don't internalize it. Forge ahead, you'll overcome your insecurities, and you will win, just like she did. So many actresses. Meryl Streep was told that she's not pretty enough. Reese Witherspoon, another actress that I think really embodies sexuality. She is so at home with who she is as a woman, is Edie Falco. She is not traditionally pretty. She doesn't have what Hollywood has decided is beautiful. In The Sopranos, we often see her and, she makes herself look dowdy, she makes herself look disheveled, and she is never not sexy in The Sopranos or in anything that she does. Let's talk about guys. I'm not going to mention, well, of course I'm going to mention, George Clooney is a guy who has the qualities that Hollywood says those qualities are sexy. And hey, he is a really attractive man. Part of what makes him so attractive, besides his incredible good looks, is his humor, his humility, and his intelligence and his confidence. But now let's talk about guys who are not traditionally handsome. The late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman. He was a leading man who didn't look like a leading man. Why? Confidence. And if you look at his performances, his confidence also exudes sexuality. What about a guy like Paul Giamatti? He is the most unlikely guy to become a movie star. Certainly there was an era when producers would have totally overlooked him because he's not a hunk, he's not tall, he looks like every man. If he wasn't a star, we wouldn't even notice him on the street, and yet Giamatti plays so many different characters, and I've seen him in roles with beautiful women where you just buy it because of his confidence. Another woman that just comes to mind also is Amy Schumer, because Amy Schumer does not have Hollywood's image of a sexy body. And yet, especially in her comedy, when the humor is up front, she is really, really sexy. Okay, I promised you a story, true story about meeting one of these great actors and being able to discuss these qualities. The actor is John Travolta. I have always liked him. Even in his younger days when a lot of people thought he was just a pretty boy, in Saturday Night Fever, I saw a guy who was much more than just a pretty boy. I saw a real actor, a guy who has danger, humor, and sexuality. We saw all of those qualities in Pulp Fiction when he was much older, and he wasn't in the best of shape, but man, his confidence made him absolutely riveting on screen. So he was in Toronto, where I live and work, and he was shooting, I believe he was shooting Hairspray. And in the afternoons when they would wrap, he would come to the health club that I belonged to wind down in the spa. And he went into the steam room. I happened to be going into the steam room too. So I walked in, and here's a funny fact. Both of us were buck naked. We were the only two guys in the room. And he smiled when I walked in. He says, "Hi, I'm John." I said, "Hi, I'm Lou." I sat down next to him, and we just began to chat about acting. And I told him about my belief that all great actors have these three qualities. And he nodded and agreed. And then I had the pleasure to tell him that, "Sir, you embody these qualities, all of them, in everything that you do." And of course, he was very pleased to hear that. So let's do a quick review. The three qualities that all great actors have and that you have in you, whether you see them now or not, are danger, humor, and sexuality. Find them, develop them, bring them to play when they're least expected in all of your performances, and watch your work go to a whole other level, and you will get people saying, you know what, when we see you on camera, we can't take our eyes off of you. If you've gotten value from this, definitely leave a comment below. Inspire other actors, and also help many more actors to see this video. Oh yes, if you haven't already subscribed, do it now and give the video a thumbs up. I promised you some free training. On the screen you see an image of the ebook that I wrote, which is the ultimate guide to self-taping. It really is that. 21 pages, no nonsense, detailed information about acting tips for your self-tapes. Also, all of the recommended gear that you should use, exactly how to achieve the best lighting and the best sound. You'll find a link to that book below. Download it, it's free. Use everything in it and take your work to a whole other level. I'm also putting a link below to my latest online course, Self-Taping Mastery. The course takes a deeper dive into self-taping, plus you will have me in every module taking you step by step, holding you by the hand, plus you'll be able to reach out to me with any questions you have, and I will definitely answer them. Another thing is that when you look at what I'm offering with this course, you're going to notice some wonderful bonuses. And one of them is a completely separate online course on live auditions that covers everything from what to do before the audition, as you travel to it, when you're in the waiting room, when you actually step inside with the director, casting director, and producers, and what to do when you leave and you're on your way home. That course I sell separately for $199. It's yours today for free as a gift when you enroll in Self-Taping Mastery. If you've been watching my videos, you know I always end with this, that it's an important reminder about on-camera acting. The lines, your dialogue is important, but it's always secondary to the inner life that lives beneath the lines and in between them. So whenever you have a script in your hands, always feel it, then say it. If you feel it and say it, then you'll mean it, and then chances are that you'll book it. Go out, create a stellar on-camera career for yourself. Please let me know about it so I can celebrate with you and share your win with the world.